Failure of disarmament. Article 8 of the Covenant gave the League to the task of reducing armament to the lowest point consistent with the national safety and the enforcement by the common action of the international obligation. A significant amount of the League time and energy was devoted to this goal, even though many member governments were uncertain that such extensive disarmament could be achieved or was even desirable. The Allied powers were also under obligation by the Treaty of Versailles to attempt to disarm, and armament restriction imposed on the defeated countries had been described as the first step toward the worldwide disarmament. The League Covenant assigned the League the task of the creating and disarmament plan for each state, but the Council devolved this responsibility to a special commission set up in 1926 to prepare for the 1932-1934 World Disarmament Conference. Members of the League held different views toward the issues. The French were reluctant to reduce their armament without a guarantee of military help if they were attacked. Poland and Czechoslovakia felt vulnerable to attack from the west and wanted to League response to aggressions against its members to be the strengthening before they disarmed. Without this guarantee, they would not reduce armament because they felt the risk of attack from Germany was too great. Fear of attack increased as Germany regained its strength after the First World War, especially after Adolf Hitler gained power and became Germany's Chancellor in 1933. In particular, Germany attempts to overturn the Treaty of Versailles and the reconstruction of the German military made France increasingly unwillingly to disarm. The World Disarmament Conference was convened by the League of Nations in Geneva in 1932 with the representatives from the 60 states. It was a failure. A one-year moratorium on the expansion of the armament, later extended by the few months, was proposed at the start of the conference. The Disarmament Commission obtained initially agreement from the France, Italy, Spain, Japan, Britain to limit the sea size of their navies, but no financial agreement was reached. Ultimately, the Commission failed to halt the military built up by Germany, Italy, Spain, and Japan during the 1930s. The League was mostly silent in the face of the major events leading to the Second World War, such as Hitler demilitarization of the Rhineland, occupation of the Sudetenland, and the Clause of Austria, which had been forbidden by the Treaty of Versailles. In fact, League members themselves rearmed in 1933. Japan simply withdrew from the League rather than submit to its judgment, as did Germany the same year. Italy and Spain in 1937. The final significant act of the League was to expel the Soviet Union in December 1939 after it invaded Finland. General weakness. The general weakness, the gap in the bridge. The sign reads, "This League of Nations bridge was designed by the President of the USA." Cartoon from Punch magazine, 13 December 1920, satirizing the gap left by the US not joining the League. The onset of the Second World War, this demonstration that the League had failed in its primary purpose, the prevention of another world war. There were a variety of reasons from this failure, many connected to the general weaknesses within the organization. Additionally, the power of the League was limited by the United States' refusal to join. Origin and structure. The origin of the League and the structure of the League by the Allied power as a part of the peace settlement to end the First World War led to it being viewed as a League of victorious. The League neutrality tended to the manifested itself as an indecision. It requires a unanimous vote of 9, later 15 council members to enact a resolution. Hence, the conclusive effective action was difficult, if not impossible. It was also slow in coming to the decision, as certain ones require the unanimous consent of the entire assembly. This problem mainly stemmed from the fact that the primary members of the League of Nations were not willing to accept the possibilities of their fate being decided by their other countries, and by enforcing unanimous voting and had effectively given themselves veto power.